The member for Harbour Grace Portagrave.
Here. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Well, again, it's always a privilege and an honour to stand here in our honourable House of Assembly. And again, it's our constituents who put us here. I'm very proud of the 15,000 constituents that I represent in Harbour Grace Portagrave District. And of course, I will always stand and represent their needs and their concerns. But first, before we get going, I also want to reflect on a very successful festival. It's an annual festival in the town of Bay Roberts, which is called the Song, Stages and Seafood Festival. And it was a big success. It continues to grow each and every year. We have many visitors travel from outside of town and even out of the province to come. And I'm also happy to say that the government, through the Department of Tourism, invested $15,000 into this festival, which was, of course, a privilege to announce at the time. But now, just to reflect on some commentary that we're hearing tonight with regards to fire trucks and whatnot, I have to weigh in on this one. We know how the fire trucks were handed out prior to the election. But having said that, it's very important that our volunteer firefighters and our firefighters throughout the province have the proper equipment that they need in order to save lives, you know, and to help put out fires and to help emergency services. And I'm happy to say that the town of Bay Roberts received a fire truck, and well deserving. But I'm disappointed, however, the town of Upper Island Cove, another town in my district, was also, I guess, somewhat led or insinuated that they too would potentially receive a fire truck, but that did not happen. It did not happen prior to the election, but we did indeed have a meeting with the Minister of Municipal Affairs, and it's something that I will certainly continue to work on. But this particular piece of equipment is a special fire truck. It's also, I guess, for medical services, and it is noted that firefighters in Upper Island Cove are also trained for medical services and emergency services. So I would like to recognize that, and again, we will certainly continue to work on that. Now, of course, I have to go back to a very important topic in my district, which I talk about frequently, and I will continue to until we turn that side, and that is, as we know, Coley's Point Primary. That's right. We can all say it. We can all say it. I'll say it together. Well, I'm happy to say we had a meeting today. Actually, some staff from the town of Bay Roberts, along with the mayor and a councillor, travelled in from Bay Roberts, and we met with the Minister of Transportation and Works. And again, the minister understands that this is very important, as does the Education Minister, and it's something that we're certainly going to continue to work toward. But again, just to recap, and now I want to go back in time. I'm always a fan of traveling back in time, and I'm going to take us back to December 11th in 2007. And this was a letter from a consulting firm sent to then Education Minister Joan Shea. And the firm will remain nameless, but I will quote some of the professional opinions here in this letter. And this says, and I quote, "In my opinion, the school has exceeded its life expectancy and usefulness, and it is not economically feasible to reconstruct the facility to achieve the current standards to the 25-year lifespan." And it goes on to say, "The extent of the renovation and repair for the expected product is not a viable solution. A new school should be built to meet the 25-year primary education needs of this community." And again, I reiterate, this is from 2007. So, you know, it begs the question, I mean, what happened? I mean, we're in 2016 now. We know that money's been allocated for this school. And in a time when the province was rich with oil money, again, the $25 billion in oil royalties, and in 3 past budgets, there was money, you know, for this school, but we didn't see anything happen. As a matter of fact, the only thing that we did see, and that still remains today, is a picture of this sign saying that the promise of a new school that would soon arrive.
Nice sign.
Yes, but just I remember my colleague from Bonavista. Yes, it is a nice sign, but hopefully this sign is going to mean something more. We want to break ground on this school. So again, I will reiterate: this school services communities from Portagrave, Barronade, Sherrstown, Butlerville, Coley's Point. Absolutely, and with a growing population, beautiful towns, a strong population. We have an expanding population in the Conception Bay North region all around, in particular with Harbour Grace Portagrave District. So again, I mean, the need is there. The school is at capacity. I had a recent conversation again with the principal, and there is currently gravel There is no asphalt, no pavement. So there is a concern with lines and safety guidelines for the new busing routes that will take effect. So again, I hear from parents as well on a day-to-day basis about their concerns, but it is something that I'm certainly going to continue working toward with our ministers and whatnot. And again, like I say, I will lobby. You will hear Coley's Point Primary, in this honourable House until we see that. And please God, when that day comes, I invite all honourable colleagues here in this House to come out and celebrate that opening for that facility, for those children in my district who deserve a new facility. And that's right. And the member, my colleague across the way from CBS says, the previous administration won't apologize for new schools. Absolutely not. Every child in Newfoundland and Labrador, and Canada for that matter, deserve to live and grow in a healthy, up-to-date, modern facility to accommodate their needs and modern life. So I will say that, of course, not apologize, but again, we can't overlook communities. We can't overlook districts for political reasons. And whether or not this was the case, I will certainly continue, like I say, to lobby for this cause. Also, I want to talk about the courthouse in Harbour Grace as well. It's a very important topic, of course, since the budget's come down in the district of Harbour Grace, Portagrave. This service has been in place since the 1800s. The building itself, the old building, which no longer houses the current service, is a National Historic Site. And again, but it's no longer fit, rather. It's no longer safe or suitable to operate now, so they have moved to an alternative location. But it's something, I mean, this service accommodates 50,000 people in a region. This is bigger than a Harbour Grace Portagrave district topic. It is Harbour Grace Portagrave. It's a district of Harbour, Maine, the district of Carbonear, Trinity Bay de Verde, Placentia, St. Mary's. I mean, again, 50,000 people utilize this service, annually. They've got a full docket every week, and on a day-to-day basis. So it's something, and again, I have been working with the town of Harbour Grace, and I must commend the people of Harbour Grace. They've come together on this, also as the town council. The building, the old building, as we know, it is a historic site, but unfortunately was neglected. Nothing has been. There were no investments to put into that building. And as we know, unfortunately it's closed shop today. But again, I want to commend the town council in Harbour Grace. They're working very hard. They've actually formed a committee. I've been working with that committee. We've been meeting with the Justice Minister, and again, it's certainly something that I'm going to continue fighting for lack of a better word, and lobbying for, because that's what we do here in this honourable House. And also, again, you can't get up here and not reflect on the past, because I mean that's the jobs of the opposition, the third party, and of course the government and whatnot, and the fourth party. You're right, but again, I mean, choices. There's a lot of talk of smart choices and the right choices, and I mean, when you're put in a position of responsibility and authority, there is a lot of pressure and there is a lot of expectation to make the right choices. And as we know, and again, nobody wants to play the blame game or whatnot, but we can't let go of the fact that $19 million contract was forgiven for Humber Valley paving. That's a shame. I mean, the libraries we're seeing closed right now, and the cuts. I mean, that $19 million would have been utilized today. Absolutely. But again, I will stand on my feet again. We're here around the clock. We've been in session since yesterday, Monday, 1:30 p.m. We're now to Tuesday at 20 to 9. And I want to thank the people at home if they're tuning in and they're watching what's happening here. They're supporting their members. They're making sure that everybody's staying on their toes and keeping everyone accountable. But again, and I also want to thank the members and staff from the Bay Roberts Town Council for traveling in today to meet with myself and the Minister for Transportation and Works, again, to fight for the cause. For Coley's Point Primary School, we've got 350 students plus in an area with an expanding population, a 60-year-old plus facility. We know over the years it's been looked over and passed on since 2007. I mean, that's a significant time. But we will keep this at the forefront. We're going to hear the words Coley's Point Primary in this honourable House, until that happens. And again, I want to reiterate that to my constituents, absolutely. And again, if any constituent would like to reach me to have a meeting with me for any concern, and I have been, corresponding through email, through social media, on the phone, some meetings, of course, in person. My office number in my constituency is 786-1372.
Order,
By all
please.
means, please reach out. Thank you, Mr. Chair.